These are pretty old. There's a lot of these that I haven't seen in a long time. That was my best friend that I traveled all over the country with. Mango, he's from Florida. That's when I was bartending at the Hard Rock Cafe. That's where that shirt came from.
How old are you here?
I don't know, but look at them freaking bell bottoms on there.
Nice, man.
This was my first dance recital. My grandmother put me in a ballet tap dance in school when I was 4. That should explain a little bit about the butt whoopings I was getting in grade school all the time. I told my birth mother that my grandparents must not have wanted grandchildren, you know, because I thought I destroyed all the dance photos, but I don't think that I had any recent pictures. And that would be the pictures of my children. For years, I could not find them, and that's why I swear by Facebook to this day, because somebody got me on Facebook, and that is how I found my daughters. That's Amanda and Crystal, my grandkids. And that's the oldest of my youngest daughters from my girlfriend in Utah. I never got to see her when she was at that age. She was born in 2001. I wasn't there. We had split up, and she had moved on. So somebody else is raising my kids while I'm living on the other side of the country. It makes me sad that I missed out on those years and everything.
Do you have any pictures of Jeffrey on here?
There's Jeffrey there. When we split up for good, he was about 14 or 15. That was the last time I ever saw him. The bad stuff that happened throughout my life before that, none of it was there anymore. It was just my son, you know, my first child. It was a son, and he was a chubby little sucker, and it was a long time before I had came back to this side of the States. In fact, he was the reason I came back. This was probably a year before he was arrested. That's his most recent. I got a phone call from my mom. It sounded like she said that my son had killed his sister. And I'm like, I'm not hearing this right. What did you say? That he killed her. And, you know, there was a lot of these situations that probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me. Everybody else just pretty much didn't have any conversation with him at all. You know, and I can imagine how that feels.
What stops you from, even tonight as we sit here, just reaching out?
You know, I'm just getting to a point where I can, you know, accept myself. You know, if I get too afraid of the situation or whatever, I just disappear. I would feel completely vulnerable going there, not in the right frame of mind. If they weren't up for it, then, you know, I would respect that.
That offer of grace and love, you can still cling to it and grab to it. It's still right there for you. Don't you feel like it'd be foolish to not take that same grace?
You know, it's hard to just totally believe that I don't have to do anything for my salvation. There's this little part of me inside saying that, you know, well, you need to do something. What can I do to make this part of me better? I wanted to get myself together and get a good enough job and get a house so that when he does get out, he'll have somewhere to go. All these years, that's why I didn't come and visit. Couldn't accept myself, so I really couldn't see how anybody else could. But there were different excuses depending on when the time period was, you know.
Sounds like you have an excuse even now.
Yeah, it's old habits.
Michael, tonight would be a good night just to make that maybe initial contact and say, hey, we want to help you do that even right now.
Yeah, not at this time. I mean...
What are some of the fears When you call
I've been
out.
working all day and I get off work and I mean, I haven't even been able to relax and I'm not gonna be able to just, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm not geared that way. You know, if it was that easy for me to just change my mindset and my emotions, I wouldn't have needed to come here in the first place.
Oh, no, Michael, we're not.
I'm still a mess.
Right.
I might not seem a mess, but I'm still a mess. And the only thing that was getting me by was, you know, allowing some of these wounds to heal up a little bit. I can't do it. I still feel like I'm not ready.
What do you think it would take for you to be ready to be with your children?
I'm not comfortable doing it right now.
Why is that?
Guess I'm just not.